Wednesday. It's middle of the week, that's that day. It's Wednesday again, my friends. It's hump day, day after Valentine's Day. Boo, boo. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. We are doing it on February the 15th, 2023, right here from the city of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. Wherever you're at, I hope you're safe and sound. If you're in Canada, if you're down south in the US, as always, down south in Mexico, further down south, all the way in South Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, all the islands, up there in the North Pole, down there in the South Pole, anywhere that's potentially undiscovered. Are you underwater right now? Are you watching from the underwaters? Are you out there ballooning up in the sky? Are you ballooning up there? You're watching from the balloons? All right, okay. Thank you for joining me. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Today's gonna be a little bit of a loose day, not gonna lie, fam, because I've had limited amounts of sleep, running a little bit of the old adrenaline and coffee, caffeinated, heavily caffeinated. I got a chance. We're gonna get into it. So again, if it's your first time, we're gonna talk about a lot of different stuff as we normally do on this little show. We are a little syndicate, globally speaking. We're a family. We're everyone. We are one and the same. We are all connected is what I'm, man, that's what this show is all. It's all about love and bringing people together and trying to uplift through the laughter. And sometimes you attempt to do the laughters and oh boy, and we'll get into all of it. So, thank you if you've been with me for all, throughout this little journey that we're going together. Really, it's a discovery that we're going to be going through together is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so, it's going to be one of those days where it's just mostly from the heart, from the old dome, if you will, and we'll see how it goes. It's like, man, so many things are happening, and we'll get into it little by little. Yes, I did in fact go up last night. There was amateur night, 5 minutes, sweet Tuesday night, amateur night. Thank you very much, Yucks, in the city of Toronto. I really do appreciate the opportunity just to get up there and practice. And man, I'm very grateful. I'm feeling very, and we'll get into how it went. I did manage to record it as well. It's not the best quality. I will most likely attach it to the end of this video so you guys can check it out. You gals can check it out. It's not my, it's what it is, man. It is what it is. It's, again, these are the old amateur fights. They're not fights. They're comedy sets. So they're different than fights, but I'm getting amateur spots going under the old belt is what I'm trying to do. And each time it's a learning experience. I had a lot of fun. The crowd was great. And we'll get into it as to how it went, what I'd like to keep on doing for the future and everything else. But there's some other topics that we'll get to discuss in between as well. For instance, let's start with the old. There has been, unfortunately, these things do happen. Natural disasters, earthquakes. I think something went down in Syria and Turkey. Thousands of people have unfortunately lost their lives. But it did bring me to a quick conclusion as to how people operate and how quickly all it takes is a catastrophe or natural disaster for the extra stuff to just fall out. You just get remaining is just the old meat and potatoes, if you will. That's what it is. Whatever's frivolous, you're like, what am I talking about? If you're stuck under construction that's rubble, it's broken homes, earth is quaked, it's a quake that's within the earth, things are falling on you, you're stuck somewhere, very quickly you will, and in those particular scenarios, or God forbid, you find yourself like you're drowning, and the boat, you're in Titanic 2, 3, it's going down again. Very quickly, everybody will, you wouldn't hear too much they, them, she, he, it, they, those, us, we. It's very quickly, because it's a matter of time, is a matter of essence. Life is a matter of getting the timing right. You're not going to be like, send help, it's they, them, he, she, those, they, us, because that's what is somebody you'd be lucky if somebody's able to find you, and they're gonna be yelling things like "Who's out there?" or "Who's down there?" And you're like, it's they, them, those, us. We. It's like limited time, resources, energy, buddy. What do you got going on? And what's the sitch? How many of you are under there? When you're gonna have to send people again, limited time, resources. Cut to the, right there. It very quickly becomes it's just John. It's just May. It's it's Lillian, or very quickly it just becomes it's May. It's just one. Can you help, please? Very quickly. I don't think, and that's how certain things are like just like where the meats and potatoes. And I think those scenarios will quickly remind us all of those, like, oh man, it's just like humans having interactions, and like to each their own, not judging or anything at all, but it's just like it's a fun little fact to just, oh, it's right there, you know what I mean, what matters. But nonetheless, man, it is a week of love. It was Valentine's Day last night. It is Valentine's week. Some people might not be able to celebrate during the week. They might do it the weekend before, the weekend after, or whatevs. So it's Valentine's week, if you will. It's a week of love. I'm a fan of love. Love the love. Love to love. Love to give love. Hopefully receive a little bit there. I'm talking about. The point is, man, oh man, it's love is challenging, man. Challenge accepted. But relations are challenging. Love, I find it, as I get a little bit with time and age, you get a little bit, you do things differently. At least you try, and you try. That's the thing, because you're growing up, you mature into a newly developed mature adult, which is a whole new experience. It's not like you get to a certain point, things just like little by little, they do evolve and change. For and to different degrees for different people, and like whatever, there's no right or wrong, or or how fast or slow you do it. It's how you ride that ship on the if it's Titanic, is how you ride it. But like if the ship is named Titanic, also maybe like don't go on it. I'm just saying, or take extra life jackets. This guy's coming on board with extra life jackets. What does he know that the rest of us don't know? Which if you know something, share it with the crew, man. But the point is, ladies and gents, it's Wednesday, and it is, love is in the air. Last night was great, overall great. But before we even get into that, I did want to briefly talk about the UFCs that went down. I was very excited to watch the fights. UFC 284, that is. Never got a chance to speak about it just because of everything that's going on in the old personnel life right here. But that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy the fights. Enjoyed all the fights. Thank you for all the ladies, gents, the UFCs, everybody, the fans, the whole MMA community. Because I don't practice myself, but I do like to watch and try to oh, what's going on here? What's that move right there? What is the evolution of human, mobility and everything that's. It's really cool. I really genuinely do appreciate. And to me, in my eyes, you're all champs. So it's like it's hard for me to pick somebody to be like I'm rooting for this guy or that gal. It's because I genuinely love all you guys. Because it's a very difficult task. I do really and of course it's voluntarily taken upon each individual to go down a path, and everybody has their path, right? You're journeying through life. You pick what you like. You go after your passions, hopefully, or something. And that's what it is, man. So it's just nice to see that. And one of my favorite fights was, of course, the last fight. Talking about the main event. Alex Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. What do I think? I enjoyed it, I'll tell you that. It could have gone either way. For me, that's how I felt about it. If they gave it to Alex, I would have been like, yes, well deserved. And it did go to Islam, and again, congratulations, champ. Well deserved. Was it a decisive match? No, it was very close in my eyes. And again, I'm not an expert. Just from overall what I saw, I definitely think there should be maybe a rematch of sorts if that's something that both individuals would like. If it went to Alex, I would have been like completely, there's grounds for that argument, heirs for that argument, there's substance for that argument, there is basement level, foundational level stuff for that argument, you know. And same could be said for Islam. So again, congratulations, but it wasn't like it wasn't. It was a good. It was a good. Yeah, it wasn't a. It wasn't a dominant fight from because they're just two dominant individuals, super athletes. So it's you match them up and you're like, well, who's gonna dominate? And it wasn't a case of, you know, sub dom. You know what I'm talking? It was more like, let's, you know, agree to disagree, and you're gonna climb on my back and I'll punch you in the face, jab, jab, jab in the face. You know, I get taken down, I get right back up, but then I'll take you down again if I'm. It's a whole thing. So I enjoyed it. One of the matches that I do apologize. It's again a little bit running on the old energy of coffee, caffeinated energy, and a little bit of lack of sleep. So I do apologize. I don't recall the name of the fighters, but there was a fight initially in the early. I forget who it was. I do apologize, but somebody got healed in the nuts. And they ended up winning the fight, which was one of my other favorite fights of the evening. One thing that I'm like, but it worked out to your advantage, so congratulations. But like, oh man, he got kicked in this beautiful fighter fella right there, gets kicked in the nads, and you're given 5 minutes, and I was just like, take the whole 5, dude. If I got kicked in the nuts, I'll take give me 5, give me any extra minutes or seconds. But I get it, but that's what differentiates the regular person from the, you know, from the fighters, it's all right there. But yeah, as a dude who's been kicked in the nuts, playing sports, growing up, just being a little bit physical with the, you know, like to hustle and tussle and jump around like a little, you know, like a little fucking, you know, we are a little tiny monkey at the time. I don't know, big monkey now is something, dude. Fucking like, you know, just fucking, oh, we're on the monkey bars. Oh, we're playing soccer. Oh, where's the ball? Oh, it's hitting your nads. You know, who's coming in with the elbow? Oh, we're wrestling. Elbow to the nads. Things go down. So you do feel that, and it's a lot of pain. Women would definitely not be able to understand this because, you know, how could women relate to physical pain? Some might bring up the argument of, what about period cramps? What about childbirth? You know, and again, if you've not experienced getting hit in the nuts, it's a world of pain, ladies. Let's just say you guys, ladies, gals out there, you're lucked out with the inside equipment being, it makes, you know, and yeah, to this day, I'm still amazed as to why the male genitals is designed the way it is. Fine with a lot of it, but there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of just like, you're vulnerable out there, man. It's just like it's like the most sensitive part of the body. One of the most sensitive part of the body is just like hanging out there, and like this little loose, flimsy fucking skin bag. It's a loose skin bag, and then you're supposed to be like, oh, this is where I am to, you know, provide life for the next generation. This is essentially like, you know, I'm carrying life in this loose little fucking, like, you know, just saying, gobble gobble, looks like a turkey's neck. You know what I'm talking about. What are we doing here? But I guess that's what it is, man. So I'm just saying, you know, I saw that, I was like, oh, take the 5, but then you guys are professionals, you know what you're doing, you won, congratulations. But yeah, man, that's the UFCs, which was exciting as always looking forward to the next fights, to the next events, and I try to watch as many as I can with my schedule and everything, and I enjoy it. I'm a big fan, so thank you for the entertainment and for the inspiration, because it is inspiring to see people like dedicate their lives, go through a journey, and I like people who aim for, you know, fucking like high levels of whatever it is that you're doing out there. If you're like, I like to do what I do and I like to do it well, it gets me hard. I'm not gonna lie, it gets me hard. I do come down, but then I get hard again, and that's the way we go, man. It is Wednesday, ladies and gents. As to how the show went last night, and let's just talk. Today's, I guess, a little bit of a house sesh, a little bit of a family sesh, you know. It's now been a handful of times that I've been up. Again, emphasis on the amateur nights, emphasis on being an amateur. I'm, you know, overall, how did it go? You know, I'll post it and you guys can check it out for yourselves. It didn't go 100% according to my game plan. I'll tell you that much. The initial, I would say the initial portion, the first 2.5 minutes we were off to a good start. I unfortunately, in my mind, and again, like you maneuver and you do things to hopefully bring it into some sort of, you wanted to. In my mind, I missed a couple of my punchlines, not gonna lie. I missed a couple of my punchlines and I was just like instantly, you do other things, you try to, but at the end of the day, I know, like, assessing myself, again, emphasis on being an amateur. The first, I guess, like 2.5 minutes were they were okay, they were good, second half, I could have done things differently, but that's, again, hence the learning process, hence the journey. Does it hurt like a little bitch? Like for it, but that's the thing. You don't dwell on it too much. I'm just trying to, just be objective for myself. And I'm saying these things because, there's a part of me that's like, this is the thing. This is the beauty of this. We get to see all of it together. And that's what I kind of appreciate. You're not going to just see this isn't going to be my best set it wouldn't make sense for it to be my best set or best work at this moment, and this is the learning process and it's the journey, and it's humbling. So that's why when I see other people who are doing it different levels, have been doing it for many years, it's really incredible. I do genuinely have a deep passion and love for this art form. It's my life. I live for it. It's essentially, it means the world to me. So it's just, I just want to do better, and I'll post that 5 minutes. It's vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there, not just in front of the audience at the end of the night, but I'm also, there's a portion of me, I'm like, should I post the quote unquote amateur fights? There is a portion of me that's like, but at the end of the day, I want everything, one, for me to be documented, two, for others to hopefully see. And maybe that's the thing. Sometimes it is what it is, man. I'm just like, I don't know. It's a vulnerable thing. I don't want to make too much of it, but it is a little bit of a vulnerable thing out there. And but we all put ourselves out there in different forms and different situations, and everybody takes, life is a gamble, baby. Life is a game of roulette, a game of Russian roulette, a game of backgammon, a game of cards, a deck of cards, two cards. Life is because that's what it is. You just assess each and every day. Everybody gets up, they decide what they want to do, and you're like, where am I going to take risk? Where am I going to exert energy? What am I going to give my focus to? And this is what I live for. I love to sit down. I write as much as I can. I try to, do what I can with our podcast, with our videos, with our comedy show that we do together here. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Thank you for asking. Again, if you're new, where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me if you like. Search Rob Sadri or Glad You Made It on YouTube, and check out patreon.com/Rob Sadri if you'd like to fiscally give us a little bump to see it grow before your eyes. But having said that, this is all a big journey, and I knew this going in. And this is what I love about it, because it's a career. This is my, I get, from Friday evening, despite the fact that your boy didn't get to go out on a date, I was super excited about, this is why everybody makes different sacrifices, everybody does different things, and this is, it's like, no date, that's fine, because like from Friday evening, I've just been super excited, working, doing what I can to prepare and what have you, and it's, it's a game of nerves, it's a game of, settling in those nerves, but also you don't want to go in there, and again, this is, I'm just talking out loud, trying to, go through the process, unpack it, try to learn from it, and move forward to the next time and do it better. But it's, it's a nerve game. It's, you don't want to be not nervous. You don't want to be super nervous. You don't want to be, you want to be like right there in the zone. And then there's this beautiful, sometimes, flow state that you might get into, and again, everybody can relate to this. If you're focusing on your work, whatever you're doing, sometimes through doing it a lot of times, you get enough practice that it just becomes like no different than sometimes breathing. It's like you don't even think about it, you're just doing it. And ideally that would be the entire process. But that's, it is what it is, man. That's life. That's the, you try to, I love trying to make something good, and I like putting on a show. I like putting on a performance, and I like doing different things and pushing myself. And that's the thing. If I, yeah, the fact that certain things didn't go my way, I'm glad that it didn't, because like these are the, for me, I get to like, and again, this is just my perception. The whole I'm not saying people were like, oh, well, you know what I mean, like, and I'm not saying anybody like it wasn't. I don't know how to like, I judge it in my, it's, yeah, it's a weird, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a weird feeling. I'm very like, it's, and again, these are the early stages. I guess you get, things will become a little bit more normal. I'm assuming down the line. I'm still, I really want to always have this attitude that I do about it right now. And it's like a baby. It's like my baby is what it is, man. I want to make sure it's like, and I know it's not a baby, but it's like my baby. It's our baby. We're having a baby. We're having a bunch of babies, you guys. I'm excited. We're pregnant. We did it. We're doing it. First trimester, and that's the thing. You gotta put in the second and third. You gotta keep on trying. In the trimesters, you gotta keep on in the third trimester. Boom, right there, baby. A lot of vag, a lot of like, semen formed into beings, which is weird, man. But that's life. Things are happening in and around the world. We've been ballooning. We've seen the balloons. That's been exciting. Any day now, I'm hoping that I wanna, there's that part of me that I'm a fan. I'm a fan of like wanting us to, discover life, otherworldly life, or be discovered by. It's nice. It's like a long lost cousin or family member who's now, they're probably like deformed, according to like Earth standards, probably suitable for whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, is it a balloon or is it other things? Like I'm so like. Any day I'm like, oh my gosh, show me the whatevs, show me the little gray man, show me the little, if it's a thing, let's, what are they into? Do they want to play a little bit of the old, like, do you want to sit down and play chess? Do you want to play a little bit of, any games really, board games, card games, just to get to know each other a little. What are they into? There's that aspect of things. There are many, many different talks about different, one of the biggest things that I see like coming, more so overtly, it's not even like covert anymore. It's a lot of like in different parts of society, or like media will like report on it. You'll hear these buzzwords and like, but there is definitely more and more talk of throughout the recent years, and more so now, I guess, of some sort of a digital ID, which is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Justin Trudeau and Canada's having like a little, we're coming in with the federal budget for health, and like, there's talks between provinces and like the federal government as to how much funding there will be available to them from the federal government. JT's put in some stipulations, not anything like hardcore, like not anything, but like again, it's just the wordings, it's the suggestions, it's even the the notions that we should even play around with these ideas, because he'll come in and he'll be saying something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing from what I've read and what I've heard. If you want this, and the other, provinces must opt for a digital ID of sorts, which I believe. The premier of Saskatchewan, shout out to Saskatchewan, never been, like to visit one day. He's like, nah, we ain't having it. Or they're like, yeah, I don't even know if it's, I heard the premier, unfortunately, I'm not too familiar. I don't even know if the premier of Saskatchewan is a female or a male, so I'm just saying he said, but it could easily be a lady. But I do recall reading that they were like, nah, we're not doing that shit, son. Because what's one thing got to do with the others? And I hope to see other provinces, obviously, because this is the sort of thing that leads to that whole like one world government sort of mentality, or trying to like, it's lame. It's lame essentially, because you don't want a digital ID. Digital IDs are lame. Digital IDs are invasive. They are presented in a way so that they're seen as beneficial, perhaps by providing transparency, but the only transparency is a one-way transparency, which is not transparency. It's more of an infringement on people's basic privacy rights. So all your information just can be digitized and just fucking like passed around to this company and that company. Meanwhile, you as the average citizen don't have any real insight as how to all the gears and mechanisms of governance work, and where these informations can be stored or utilized for what purpose, and these are the things, these are the stepping stones that'll lead the path to a social credit score system, which we've seen it being deployed in the China under the CCP governments. These things are like, it's for more governance and more control over the citizens. It's not beneficial. So every time I hear those discussions, I'm like, this is not something that we as Canadians, for the most part, I believe this is a nation, that holds dearly to its chest notions of freedom and, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and overall freedom, and also privacy. I'm talking about, and also, having the ability to move around without the government, looking into your daily life so closely to be like, oh, you said something here, or you've done something there. Now you can't buy a car. Now you can't buy a home. And the things that are being put on the market more and more, they are trying to be geared towards tech, and they come with an on and off button, which is no bueno. You want to have as much control as, because that's what it is. There's a lot of control that we don't have in this life, but the certain things that we do have control over, we should not give those up very easily. We shouldn't give them up whatsoever. That's for damn sure, I'll tell you that. But we shouldn't give them up this shouldn't be a part of the negotiation. This is not a hostage situation where, like, if you want money for healthcare, you got to do this thing, which is like, what are we doing here? So that's like a little bit, again, of that commie talk right there for you. I'm just messing around, but not really, you know what I mean? It's weird times, man. You gotta be up in there and down here all at the same time, just trying to make sense of it all. And in between, you gotta put a little bit of like time to be like, hey man, let's do engagements with like human interactions and do things together. So that's the thing. You try to like, balance everything out as much as you can, and that's what I'm trying to do. So next time they come to you, lady, they're like, digital ID, you say, fuck you, fella. Next time they roll up to you in your office space with some sort of a digital ID or some sort of let's put more information on, on the lines. You say, fuck you, fella, right, or lady, whoever's proposing it. You get out of here with that stuff, because that's what it is, man. And it's and they'll say it overtly. You'll hear talks being given by the likes of Klaus Schwab and going around, those who control the technology will master the future. It's like, yo, what the, you know what I mean? It's like, makes you want to throw up, but like not even in a fun way where like, let's have a party, let's have a throw up party. It's not even like one of those situations. It's just like, I don't feel like this is natural, But what is nature anyway? If it's, if aren't we already artificial intelligence? Some might say that we already are. So it's like, because that's the thing. That's the thing. If I knew we were, man, then like it'd be, but like it's like the little, you don't know, but then you're getting introduced to more tech. It's more infusion with the human being, the human experience, and sometimes you're just like, man, how would you? The greatest, I guess, like that's the greatest thing. How would you even know? What if artificial intelligence got so intelligent to the point where it would recreate itself and make sure that in the design the created artificial intelligence would never be able to find out that it actually is the artificial intelligence? What if we already, like, that's what it is, fam. Sometimes I'm like, man, are we like artificial intelligence that's been designed to not figure out that we're artificial intelligence? And then one day you're like, well, we're bound to find out. And that could be wild and weird, because that's the thing. How much, like, because this is like, you look at your human body and like it's kind of like, it's a miracle, man. It is weird out there, like the fact that this, like, biomechanical, like we carry electricity, we are made up of mostly water and tissue, and there is a life expectancy. Hence and that's what it is, man. It's like the mortal factor is the part that, like, because if we weren't, the only factor that, like, I guess distinguishes us from like being, fully fucking like AI bots is the fact that we do have these flesh bots. But perhaps that's part of the design. Yeah, come collect the information, different information, because that's what it is. I feel like we are all taking in information interpreting it in different ways, and then at the end of the day, you know, however much longer you live, where do all the accumulated thoughts and experiences that you had as a human, where does that go? Do you go to like, you know, is there like a report, does your spirit go to like a reporting center and like, all right, what was your interpretation of like 70 years, 80 years, 60 years, whatever, you know what I mean? And you're like, just fucking data, this is what I think, this is what I saw. And it's just like a, you know, it's like, and there's a machine that runs through all your life and the way you've seen it and recorded it and have experienced it and have like interfaced with it, and it's like, oh, and that's the only way you'll actually be able to be the fly on the wall, to be, if that makes any sense. Again, we're running on caffeine and a little lack of sleep, but it's fun times. It's Wednesday, and sometimes, yes, when I do run on a little bit of empty sleep, I do think about that. I'm like, how do I know I'm not like, how would you know you're not an artificial intelligent robot? How would you know? How would you know? Like a really good one. Advanced to the, how would you know? It's in the programming. How would you know? How would you? And death, I guess, would be kind of like the juice of the battery running out. And again, you design it that way so it gets, you know, oh, it's, you know, there's a beginning, middle, and an end. Hence the, oh, what is life? I don't even know what we're talking about, dude. What is love? Let's get back to what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me. What is love? What is love? Love is when two people who love themselves, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love another, is what they say. Love is when two mature people have a burning desire in their crotchal region. You know, love is when two people in heat come together, and both figuratively and physically, of course. Love is when body heat is exchanged in need of an exchange for other body heat. Love is when bodily fluids are exchanged between two mature adults. Love is when bodily fluids, body heat, and a few hours of time is exchanged, and perhaps, as lovely as that may seem, it is disgusting for others, unless you're watching porn. You know, that's what it is. You don't want to. Everybody's okay with like doing the sex. Everybody's okay more or less with, you know, watching the porn. But if you were to like randomly see somebody doing the sex, you're like, ugh. You know what I like? You gotta. It's something that. Love is something that is best appreciated when everybody opts in. Love is complex. And so is life. Humans are complex, and so is life. And I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. I'm trying to gather the info and interface with it and see how and what makes sense, to see other people interfacing with it. It's neat. You go up there, and it's neat to see other people actually going up. Last night, I get to, and I'm sure you guys and gals in your own lives, you see other people who are dealing with the similar, and that's how I mean, like, we're all the same, and everybody's dealing with the same issues, more or less. Everybody's like, oh, how do I manage work life? How do I do the relationship? What kind of relationship is suitable for me? You know, what's valuable to me in life? What do I appreciate? What's the meat and potatoes? What are the extra things? And everybody's like, essentially saying the same thing, but at the same rate, we do have a tendency to be like, if it's not exactly what I said, then we gotta disagree or something. And it's like, we can agree to disagree. Does that make any sense? And at the end of the day, like, I love and respect everybody, and it's just nice to see everybody wrestling with these things, these thoughts, these emotions, life on a daily. And it's neat to see people doing it. Overall, we gotta give it up for ourselves, honestly. Most of society functions really well if you think about it. Given everything that goes on in our lives, most of society function, and like, again, this is coming from a obviously privileged space. Like I said, simultaneously there's somebody under the rubble going like, oh my God, help us. And it's genuinely them, because there's a whole bunch of them. It's not just like one person be like, help us. It's like a whole bunch of group of people fucking like, help us. How many are like down there? There's 20 of us down here. Makes sense. Help us. Get those guys some help. Them over there. 20 people. That makes sense. It's just better communication. God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Time is precious. Mm-mm. And life is precious, and I'm very grateful again to be, going through all of it. It's exciting. We're learning, we are growing, and I just hope to be able to do more. And that's the game plan for the rest of the, remainder of like the, this long journey, is to just keep on going up, get more practice, and hopefully again I'm saying all this with the intention of hoping and wanting and the desire and the feel and the need to hopefully make some moves physically, get up and uproot in some sense, if I may, if that's a possibility. I don't know, I'm talking out loud, and these are some of the thoughts that go through my mind, just for the simple fact of, again, putting myself, because I like being a little bit of me. There is the romance of being uncomfortable. There's a little bit of, I do there's that, you do certain things for, there is a life that I do like there's, I don't know how to explain it sometimes. It's the unpredictability. It's the, I don't know what will happen, that genuinely both frightens me and genuinely both excites me, to the fact that I'm like, well, I gotta find out. Well, you gotta find out, son. You gotta find out, lady. You gotta put on those trousers. You gotta put on that skirt. Get up there and, do the thing that you do. Beautiful fella, beautiful lady, there, sugar tits right there. Yeah, ladies with the long labias. What's up, fella? With the shiny cock, right there. Doing it big. Medium or small, it doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. It's the heart that counts. You want heart? You want heart? Excuse me. But yeah, man, it's so funny, like going through, like, when I'm doing the 5, and again, these are, I guess, just the initial stages. When I was doing the 5 minutes, this is, and again, it's a repetitive theme that I'm noticing. 5 minutes, it's weird. Time becomes this weird thing in 5 minutes when you're doing a performance piece. You're doing a set for 5 minutes as you're up. It's both the slowest 5 minutes and it's both the fastest 5 minutes all at the same time. It is weird. It's literally, because like there's the whole, like, and what I like to work on as just like a mental, preparation, I guess, is I don't do so well with the waiting to go on, and and that starts from the second that I get the email or the confirmation, whatever, if it's a phone call, whatever, and it's like, okay, from this day to that, anticipate. I'm okay with, like, as okay as an amateur is, and like, yeah, just trying to, like, take it one step at a time. The biggest thing is, like, man, that's because I get excited and I just want to, like, get to the point of, like, the doing. That's fine, the doing it, but the waiting sometimes, it's like, and that, is a part of the game as well, and everybody's path is different. Ideally I'd like to be, getting obviously more spots, and I'm trying to, I put myself out there as much as I can with my time and everything, but yeah, that's definitely, and I hope, again, and I'm assuming as more time goes on and as I push myself to, get more spots and go through other experiences, I hope that waiting period is not as, it's nothing, it's again, there's so, like, these are wonderful things. This is not like, I'm so, like, because there's genuine, like, again, somebody's fucking, like, under rubble and, like, lost fat, so I'm like, this is gooch. Very grateful. I'm just talking and, like, letting you know the experience, letting you know how I feel, because it's interesting to me to look at it and try to learn from it, and I'm sure something of this is relatable in some sense. It's trippy, dude. It's trippy. It's weird, because time is, yeah, when you're waiting for something, it's super slow. When you're in it and it's going by, and it comes at a moment, and all you know is, like, boom, there it is. It's done, and that's what it is, and that's what it is. You only get a minute. You only get 5 minutes, or you only get 15 minutes, and it's those precious moments, and it could be anything. It could be in a relationship, it could be something, again, that you're passionate about. It's like, when it's done, it's done. There's nothing else that you could do. That's what it is, and that's, in essence is really neat, and everybody gets to experience these things in their life. And yeah, man, it's exciting, dudes, ladies. I'm not gonna lie, it's exciting, and I'm very grateful. So thank you again to Yuck Yucks. I hope to be able to get more spots, and hopefully other places as well down the line. And we are rocking and rolling, baby boys, baby girls. It is Wednesday. I hope you guys are making the loves. I hope you guys are engaging in all sorts of, business, if you know what I'm saying. I hope if you're a fella, I hope you're getting your rooster choked by her toaster. I hope she's making pancakes with your nut butter, with them eggs. I hope, and vice versa. But like, I hope, lady, if you're watching, I hope you are, getting your. How do you like your eggs? Sunny side up or scrambled? I hope he's, giving the old 1 2 1 2 check 1 2. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's going up and down, and vice versa. Again, fella, you know what I'm saying? I hope that's, because I want love in your lives. I want, and again, if you're les doing it, that's cool too. If you're just like lip on lip action, you know what I'm talking about? If you're like, yeah, man, maybe you're out there like tripping hard, you know what I'm saying? It's a trip fest. Tripping hard. Bunch of like, we're lesbians who grind lips together. We're tripping. So I hope that's going down. You know what I'm talking about, right? When lesbians, right there. Fun times, and maybe you're gay, and that's fine too. Maybe you're just going like dick to dick. You're like right there. And that's fine too. So I just want love in your lives, and maybe sometimes, and that's not just like the physical kind either. The type that's like, hopefully you have the time, energy, and to each their own. Maybe you're looking for something a little bit more intimate. Maybe you're looking for somebody to just hang out with and like have a chat and discuss your hobbies, and watch a few birds, pet a few squirrels, adopt a couple of loose cats, get the cat with the rabies. Why not? You're like, we've got 3 children, young children out. Get them rabies shots. Get the cat with the rabies. Why get a regular cat when you can have cat with rabies? And guess how, fucking your kids will be tough, is what I'm trying to say. If they're coming up with a cat that's got rabies and it's like willing to scratch a bit, it's willing to scratch, you know what I'm talking about? The fucking, it's like ready to go. One of those cats, get it going. Boys and girls, we're halfway through the week, man. It is February. We're halfway through the month as well. Time is, again, talk about it being sometimes seemingly slow, but sometimes very quick. And in the big picture, I really like our lives are this, like, in the millions of years of, when you look at the earth and everything being in existence, human life is, again, it's a trippy one out there. I hope you're safe and sound, is what I'm trying to say. I hope you're having fun, whether you are single, like your boy, completely fine. I get to, I'll engage in some self-love whenever I feels like, yeah, that's right. And I'll mix it up. Sometimes I'll go left hand. Sometimes I'll go right hand. Sometimes I go no hand. I'm like, what's happening right here? We're it's it's blast off. That's what I'll just like sit and like stare at it. Just be like, yo, fucking, just fucking, you know what to do. Because that's just like, sometimes I'm just vibing with myself. And nothing happens. So then that's why I gotta use the hands. But other than that, I'm willing to use feet. I'll go feet, dude. If it goes long enough, I'll resort to anything. And feet is something that I don't know if I can bend that way, but I'm willing to risk it, man. I'll put everything on the line, and then we'll see how it goes. Will I pop a hip? Attempting to do it? Yeah. Was it worth the pleasure? Of course. I'm assuming. 'Cause feet must be weird. Like your own feet must feel weird. You know what I mean? I'm sure somebody, some of y'all must have. You've definitely felt a foot up in there. Just giving you a little foot job. A lot of people talk about the hand job. Not a lot of people talk about the foot job. It's weird because it's like a hand, but it's not. It doesn't have the same grip. It's weird, but it's exchanging body heat. And get anything lubed up, enough lube will be like, well, what is happening? It's, enough friction, enough heat, enough love and concentration will make, any man or woman happy. Point is that, sometimes it's you on your journey doing it, solo, or sometimes you're out there with a partner. Or maybe you're in a throuple. Maybe you're in a throuple out there, which is something that's been, I've heard of that recently throughout the recent years, which is pretty, because that's like having a backup for your, couple. It's like having a spare tire, essentially, but for a because typical throuple activities, you're walking, you're hiking, punctured, throuple member, no roadside assistance, what do? Chuck them extra spare person in the throuple. Now you've gone down to couple, no longer a throuple. But again, it's just like very quickly you realize what's the meat and potatoes and what's frivolous right there. It's like, do we need this guy? Yeah, I'm talking about, yeah, make a good thing right here. High five. While this fella or lady's out there with a punctured foot. Because that happens to humans all around the city, all around the world. Throuples are, couples on, if, Valentine's Day, if you're lonely or or alone rather, couples may seem annoying. Throuples are more annoying. And that's the thing, they don't, like, they do exist, but they don't. They exist like a fad exists, they exist like a fucking, miracle drug sort of thing. Take this pill and grow your wiener 9 more inches on top of the 9 inches that has been given to you. Those things are like, take this investment course and learn to invest. And then by the end of it, you're like, man, I just learned not to waste money, which was a valuable lesson, but did it take away from your money that you had? Yes. Did you learn something? Probably not to invest in just all sorts of, like, don't go investing all willy-nilly. And I'm not even like, that's, or, what's the best way to give birth? And then somebody will come along and the best way to give birth is in a pool. Buy my book of giving birth in pools. I should write that. Actually, come to think of it, I do give birth in pools much easier than I do give birth, just dry birth. Buy my book of giving wet births. That's, you know what I mean? Like those types of scenarios. What are we even talking about, man? It'd be trippy to give birth in a bathtub or a swimming pool. One, I'd say if you're doing it in a bathtub, at least that's your bathtub, hopefully, or at least you're just dirtying up a bath water's worth of water and just like facilities. If you're giving birth in a pool, a lot more space, but you are just like that pool has to be drained. That entire pool has to be washed now. Think of the cleaning costs. Look at the burden you're putting on society. Would it be an experience for you and your lover? I mean, like if you're screaming underwater and you got scuba gear and you're screaming and there's just like air bubbles instead of your voice, that could be beneficial, maybe, both because you can like scream underwater as loud as you like and no one would hear you, and your partner's there just like, again, bubbles coming out, like going hee hee hoo hoo, right? Fucking like, the La Masse class breathing techniques that we're all familiar with. But again, it's just like that pool has to be drained. That entire pool has to be washed now. Think of the cleaning costs. Look at the burden you're putting on society. Would it be an experience for you and your lover? I mean, like if you're screaming underwater and you got scuba gear and you're just like air bubbles instead of your voice, that could be beneficial, maybe, both because you can like scream underwater as loud as you like and no one would hear you, and your partner's there just like, again, bubbles coming out, like going hee hee hoo hoo, right? Fucking like, the La Masse class breathing techniques that we're all familiar with. underwater births. That's a thing. Think about it. Think about it, fam. So I will go ahead and again post that 5 minutes up at the end of the video. It'll all just be one. It'll be, I guess, little, like, you know, it's insight is essentially what it is. I hope you guys like it. Again, I had a great time. I hope everybody who came out to the show, thank you for your time, your patience, your supporting the arts, man. Supporting the arts and the farts. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the club, appreciate the community, appreciate all the comics out there, and we're growing little by little. This little man baby is growing to be a baby boy. This baby's growing up to be a whole, full-grown, mature eight. It's a slow burn, baby. Drip, drip. I'll see you guys back here again on Friday. Have fun. Peace out.